Welcome to the Gentle Ledger. Today is Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, and the market feels like a sigh after a deep stretch, not relaxed, just quietly aware of yesterday's weight and today's possibilities. Now, let's turn softly to the U.S. indexes, where trading finished broadly to the downside amid renewed industry rotation and selective caution. The S&P 500 closed near 6,917.81, down about minus 0.8%, breaking recent calm and reminding markets that retracements can feel sudden even when they're measured. The Dow Jones Industrial Average edged lower by roughly minus 0.3% to 49,240.99, a smaller step but still part of a clear downward tilt. The Nasdaq Composite saw heavier pressure, falling around minus 1.4% to 23,255.19. with technology shares bearing much of the weight. In contrast, the Russell 2000 of smaller companies quietly rose about plus 0.3% to 2,648.50, suggesting that nimble, domestic-focused names found some footing even as larger indexes softened. Gently moving into the corporate highlights, individual stocks traced today's mood through distinct percentage moves. Among the names showing resilience, Palantir Technologies stood out, climbing about plus 6.8% on stronger than expected earnings and an optimistic revenue outlook, a clear beat that gave buyers something tangible to hold on to. PepsiCo also performed well, rising roughly plus 4.9% after reporting better than anticipated profit results and announcing price adjustments that investors received warmly. DaVita surged even more sharply, up around plus 21.2%, propelled by robust earnings that bucked the broader market's risk-off tone. On the downside, PayPal fell about minus 20.3% following disappointing results and a leadership change, a reminder that even large, well-known names can face swift reevaluation when guidance disappoints. Pfizer slipped around minus 3.3% after issuing profit outlooks that fell short of expectations, reinforcing selective caution in healthcare equities. Technology bellwethers like Nvidia and Microsoft each declined near minus 3%, illustrating how even long-standing leaders are not immune to rotation when sentiment shifts. These corporate moves created a clear narrative. Strong earnings can attract attention, but valuation questions and competitive pressures will shape participation across sectors. Overseas, in Asia and Europe, markets reflected a blend of independent rhythms and global sentiment. In Asia, benchmarks like South Korea's Kospi posted notable gains, up around plus 6.8%, and Japan's Nikkei 225 rose about plus 3.9%, buoyed by local strength in exporters and cyclical names, even as commodities influenced trader psychology. Other Asian markets such as China and Hong Kong diverged slightly, trading in narrower ranges amid regional macro and policy considerations. In Europe, the FTSE 100, DAX, and StoxX 600 generally finished mostly flat or mildly higher, absorbing U.S. caution alongside local earnings and macro data without dramatic shifts. In commodities and bonds, the day's undercurrents moved with conviction. precious metals, which had retreated sharply last week, rebounded significantly. Gold climbed around plus 6.1% to approximately $4,935 per ounce, and silver surged roughly plus 8.2%, reflecting a renewed bid for safe havens after recent drawdowns. Meanwhile, energy prices were buoyed by geopolitical developments, with oil trading above $63 per barrel, and in the fixed income market, U.S. Treasury yields eased a touch as traders folded sharper equity moves into broader risk assessments. Turning now to the newer corners of finance, in crypto land, the tone echoed broader equities caution. Bitcoin dipped toward the $76,500 area, reflecting risk-off flows after recent volatility, while Ethereum and other major tokens tracked lower in step with broader sentiment. Crypto today felt less like an outlier and more like a participant in the market's sweeping reassessment. As the trading day reaches its evening quiet, let's rest in the reflective summary and outlook. Today's session felt like a recalibration, indexes retreating with intention, strong earnings rewarding specific stories, and risk appetite shifting gently but noticeably. It wasn't alarm, but awareness, a reminder that markets move not just by direction, but by conviction, rotation, and the ebb of storytelling. Tonight, let that thoughtful recalibration carry you into calm, balanced, observant, and gently grounded. Good night.